Good morning and good morning, Maureen. So I was already sitting here, doing like I do, relaxing our shoulders, relaxing our neck, taking that breath, listening to the cards like they're the sound of the ocean. And so I pull out my Marseille deck, which I've been using this lately, and I don't read reversals with it generally. So one thing you have to do with the Marseille, since I don't read reversals, is make sure I'm shuffling it upright so that when I do it, the cards are all upright and all that wonderful stuff. So the first card I looked at was reversed. So I'm sitting here shuffling, and I was about to do the reading upside down, and it just reminds me that, you know, like the Golden Dawn and everything, you look for correspondences. How does one thing connect to another? How can you read the tarot and have it connect out to the rest of the universe? And it's one of those things where there are no coincidences. You know, taking everything when we do the mindfulness, when we relax, when we're meditating, we're taking everything into consideration. We're seeing reality for what it is. We're looking for that chain of events, so that if with the tarot, like when we're doing our morning meditations, when we're doing what I call my daily inventory, what I see here in the microcosm is actually a reflection of the macrocosm. And it's not just the tarot, it's when you walk in through the door, it's when you sit down. Everything's connected. And the tarot is just a way to use a mirror to reflect it back. But yes, so all that just because I almost did a, which would have been how the universe was. I almost did a full reversal tarot reading this morning. But for some reason I double checked. I don't even know if any of that makes sense. I'm smiling because I know a really bad joke I almost said. My daughter would have accused me of dad jokeville. So what does the universe have for us today with our daily inventory? As we possibly look at our angers and resentments, or looking for hints and clues in the reading this morning. Maybe if we can look at any issues with the tarot this morning, if it pops up during the middle of the day, maybe we can handle it differently instead of just reacting because we've already taken a look at it. And that's what meditation is. So let's see what we have going on here. And hello on Twitch also. Okay, so here we have our stack. Hopefully it's not reversed, but if it is, well, that's life. Each one of these is a different thread going out to the universe. Each one is a different conversation. And if you believe in the butterfly effect, whichever one we choose is the conversation we will carry with us from this point forward. So today is what? What is today? Today's Tuesday. Seems like it's already midweek, so I'm just going to go with what's on the surface then. What's on top that we might not be seeing that's obvious? Hello, Queen of Sheba. Welcome. So I'm going to do 3 and 1. Yeah, I've been on a Marseille Tarot kick lately. Okay, so our first card. La Papesse. We've got the High Priestess. So this, remember how I just said that I was going to grab to see what's on the surface, see what's right on top that we might not see. Well, with the High Priestess, with the Papesse, this is the secret knowledge. This is our insight. This is us going to a High Priestess because she has the book of knowledge. She knows what's behind the veil there. And it's the stuff that we sometimes can't see. And so we have to use our own insight to go in and take a look at it. Then we have the Page of Coins. So, and the Page of Coins is looking, he's behind the High Priestess. It almost kind of looks like a staged setup. But he is staring at his coins, so pages can be us, they can be somebody we know. And it's about starting, it's about learning, and doing something new and having, you know, the excitement that goes with it. And he's staring at that coin, and coins can be health, they can be home, and they can be finances. So here's about maybe gaining insight about finances, because when you think about a page, we think about somebody who is younger because you grow from page to knight, knight to queen, queen to king, and court cards are gender neutral, so it's just the aspect that we're looking at. So here we are. And we have the High Priestess here. And she's looking at, let's say, this stack here. She's looking at the past. She knows all this stuff. She's gained her wisdom. And we have this person here, instead of focusing on the High Priestess, he's focusing on the coin. He's about to go off and just make foolish mistakes. He's going to go off. He's, you know, this is when we are not using the intuition that we have, or when we, you know, we have this chance for insight and everything else, and we get this bonus. And then what happens is that sometimes we ignore our insight. Our backs, you know, the insight is turned to our, you know, it's back to us. And instead we're focusing on the solid instead of where we came from. So if this is past, present, future, here we have the Three of Swords. So swords are thought, with the Marseille, they're the hard suits. You have wands and swords, which are the hard suits. You have the coins and cups, which are the soft suits. So with the Three of Swords, you have this decision to make. You've got your crossed swords and a decision to make. And then all of a sudden another thought comes in. So maybe you've even got that balance. You've got it figured out. But then something comes in to challenge. That third sword sticks through. And this is saying that it's like we focus on the insight. You know, we meditate, we do things like that, but then we get distracted by nice, shiny things. So here we are meditating. You know, she could be doing a tarot spread right here. But then we get this nice shiny thing right here. And what we do with it next, this is saying that we need to think about what we're doing, what our choices are, and be responsible for our actions, what follows next. Because we're sitting here and we have a page balanced out. So a lot of times when I see something like this, we have two majors, and that's important. The minors are just the day-to-day cards. Minors are just day-to-day cards. But the majors are the destiny cards. These are easy to change. Destiny cards, this is where we're going. And it's what we need to be aware of. And so we have a scale balanced here between these two. Do we want to learn from what we've got with the insight maybe? Or do we eventually say, you know what, I've got it now, just like a kid would. It's like, I don't need your help. I understand what you're saying. Now it's my turn to go out and do what I need to do. And so this is kind of what happens with the scales. Because if you notice here, we have the Three of Swords. And it's the same. You have the balancing of the scales. And then something else comes in. You know, maybe that thought is, we know better than anybody else. And I'm just going to do what I want to do. Here's the balance. This is me doing what I want to do. So what this is reminding us of is examine what our thoughts are. There are no feeling cards here. There are no cups. It's just the page staring at a coin and making a decision to do what he wants with it. And is it the right idea? So we can either reflect back on our insights, or we can just say, you know what? Oh, I just want to do what I want to do. And if you look at the Rider-Waite-Smith, the Three of Swords, this is the one that's got the heart with the three swords in it. So what happens when we do something foolish? Well, we pay consequences for it. Adventures in spiritual insight, absolutely. You could also go that route. We learn something. We take that seed and we go forward. I'm just kind of doing the scale with it because of the Three of Swords. What is it that we're walking towards that can cause anguish? And how can we avoid the anguish? And one way to do that would be to go back to the beginning and reflect on the High Priestess. That really makes it look like a scale. So, a choice between insight and foolishness. Not getting distracted. But, Maureen, you're absolutely 100% right. So, heartbreak for those who don't see others begin to pay attention, their material well-being. I want them to see each other. Yeah. Then we'd be learning something here. that would be a whole different story. But in a situation like this, I think when we have the younger page, and then this is the page deciding to go do something, and the advice card saying, you might want to think about that. So for today, it's just making sure that we're balancing insight and foolishness. Don't get distracted by the shiny things like a kid would. And with that, I hope everybody has an amazing day, an amazing week, and I will be here again tomorrow. So with that, thanks again for everything. And I'm looking forward to it. So me and Michael are going to get together. We're going to start doing some more videos. Kind of reminds me of my teenage son ready to move out on his own. That he has all this knowledge. Yeah. So here's the parents who have insight. Here's the teenage son being distracted by his first debit card. Woo, look at me. And he runs off. And it's like, is that a good idea? So I will be here tomorrow, and again, we're talking about what we want to do next as far as starting another series. So thank you again, everybody, and I will talk to you tomorrow.